All right, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this will be the January 2026 Handbook Committee. Patty Kappas, Carrie Barwick, myself are the committee members, and Gail Sullivan, the auditor. The reason for these meetings is to kind of review our handbook, make sure it's in order, if things can be changed, adopted, tweaked a little bit to make this county better. That's the purpose of this. It's open floor for everybody up here. The first thing that I had listed here was PTO time. I reviewed the PTO time. I've taken multiple emails and messages from people since we announced that we were going to have this meeting concerning PTO. That's why I listed it first. Pretty much the common message is they don't have any PTO time when they start here. We hire a new employee, example, it's happened, this is one. We hire a new employee, 30 days later, 60 days later, they get pregnant. You don't know that happens. Now they have no PTO time. They can't go to the doctors because they don't earn any of the PTO time until their 90 days is up. And then they'll get, what does that boil down to? 20 hours?
It's like calculated per pay.
Yeah, 3.8, oh no, so they would actually have 9.24 hours after their first 90 days. That's 1 day off of work. So I personally think we need to do better at that. We need to figure out a different plan for that. I've said this at least 50 times now since I became a commissioner, that people only work for county government for certain reasons, and that is adequate pay, ample time off, good benefits. And in Switzerland County, we've pretty much eliminated all of that. That's my personal take. We're not paying a lot. We're not giving you ample time off, and our benefits are so-so. They're not terrible. They're not amazing. So it's back to the drawing board for me personally, and I'm glad that these two ladies are part of this. We can start really looking at this and figure out a better solution for this. I personally am open to suggestions. I don't like PTO time. I think PTO time is designed for factories. I think when people are given PTO time, that in my eyes, that's treating them like an expendable, replaceable entity. I don't like that. I'm more an advocate for sick, vacation, personal days, but I'm open to suggestions.
I like that too, Ryan. So what we do, and I'm not saying that we do it right, but at the school, we have sick, personal, vacation, and it's really based on the job, because some people don't work year round, so they don't get vacation because they get breaks and all, so they don't qualify for that, but that wouldn't apply here. But from the data hire, and we have it stated in our handbook how many days you get based on your job, they get those days. So day one, they get, like me, I got 12 sick days first day I started. And the only issue you run into is like, let's say I start and then I miss 12 days and I use my 12 sick days and then I quit. I technically hadn't worked enough to earn them, if you want to look at it like an earned time. But that's the only thing you run into is people who start and then use them all really quickly and then up and quit on them. It don't happen very often, but it will happen.
The sick days used to be accrued 1 a month.
Yeah, and that's how ours is. They're 1 a month, but we give them all at the beginning of our sick time runs July to June. So July 1st, everybody gets their new time because we do it on the school year.
Makes sense.
That's what, I mean, it works pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know how your payroll system works. We have to manually put in all ours, so
We don't put it in right now.
we don't have an accrual system. Ours doesn't like accrue like yours probably does.
We haven't carried it. It used to, you guys, the 1 sick day a month, and then the PTO, or not the PTO, but personal time, those are 1 a quarter. And then at the the elected official or whomever, department head, at their discretion if they want to allow that. If they felt like they could trust this person long enough, I guess, I would say, to give back in case they did this where they
Yeah.
took them all and were gone.
And we have sick and personal, you get immediately. Now vacation, because we only have, our year-round people are the only people that get vacation, so that's very limited at the school, but here it would be vacation. We say they have to work at least 6 months before they earn that week of vacation. We do make them wait for vacation. We don't make them wait for sick for personal days. So they start out with 12 sick and 3 personal, and then at 6 months, they get a week vacation, and then at a year, they get 2 weeks vacation on July. We roll them over every July.
We're pretty similar. We get sick day one.
Yeah.
Then our vacation comes after 90 days. It used to be a year.
Yeah.
2026 handbook over there made it 90 days, but the sick starts at day one.
Yeah, and then our vacation does increase each year, like after 3 years, I think you get 3 weeks, and then after 5 years, you get 4 weeks vacation. And then that's the max you can get is 4 weeks vacation.
And the rollover is okay for PTO. It's an 80-hour rollover. Can't acquire any more PTO time until you drop below 80 hours. Whatever. I think the biggest problem that I saw with this right from the gate, and the letters I have for emails to back it up, is the fact that people are starting work here and they get sick. You get sick. I'm sick right now. I've got a chest cold. What if I just started here? I'm out of luck. I'm going to work sick, and I'm spreading that throughout the office that I'm working in. And that's dumb. That's ignorant. We
Well,
can
the
do
same
better
thing,
than
a lot of people that work in particularly in the courthouse, they have young children, or they have children, young children, and they, some of them, especially the new employees, they take that job so that they can be close to where, their kids going to school at the elementary school. So, when those children are sick, somebody has to go and pick them up. And in most families, it's the person that, makes less money. That's just typically how it works. And so a lot of times it falls on the mom's shoulders to go pick the child up and miss that day of work. So
we don't have anything in place here to attract talent. We don't have anything in place here to attract anybody. We just don't have.
Or even more important, once we get that talent and we've paid the money to train them, we're losing them. And then we have to attract new talent, and then we have to pay the money to train that new talent. So in some ways, we're losing money when we lose employees, because when we have to replace someone, we're losing that knowledge that they have. We're losing that maybe dependability that we had, and we're also losing, actual dollars when we have to pay to retrain them and get them recertified.
So Gail, when you had sick time, did they, it wasn't a use it or lose it, like they could carry it over, right? If you didn't, they could carry it over. Like we can carry over up to 180 days, but then our long-term disability kicks in. So is there a max?
How many sick days they could carry over?
30 a year. Once you got to 30 a year.
Did they pay out for them though? Like once you go over there, you just
30
would have
days.
lost them?
No.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you, if you lost them or they didn't pay them out?
You lost them.
Yeah, we did.
But if you used them and you were back down to 22, then you could accumulate back up to 30. But once you reach 30, you got no more.
To me, that's not a very good reward for coming to work every day.
No, it's not. So I know this probably sounds like broke record, and people tired of hearing, but I don't care. Over there, because it works, so I keep using where I work. Our sick time is unlimited. It rolls and it rolls and it rolls. You have 800 hours of sick, you got 800 hours of sick. The caveat to that is, and it's a good thing, because if God forbid you get cancer or something, you've got 800 hours of sick time. If you terminate employment, if you retire, going into that you're allowed to have that kind of hours on the books. But if you retire, quit, fired, you're only going to be paid out for 2 weeks worth of that time. You know this going in, so that to me that's fair. I knew that I get to keep this in case something happens to me, but it's sick time that they've given me, so they're only going to give me a paycheck worth of that when I leave employment here.
The county does pay for short-term disability for employees, and the employees don't pay for that.
Yeah,
Does it coincide though? Like our short-term disability coincides with our sick days. You can draw both at the same time.
Right. No, if you're well, we don't have the sick time now, but
If they had a lot of PTO, though, would they get paid for both?
they'll get paid out from their PTO first. That
And
would
then a
be
short term wouldn't kick in until.
until after the fact, because that was gonna be your FMLA, that kind of thing that you had.
But we also used to have a sick bank
Right. And that was,
where employees would donate 1, 2 days out of their sick days.
instead of losing them, they could
They
donate. to the
donate
sick
them
bank.
to the sick bank, and then if somebody had a severe illness, they were out of
Request
sick
extra.
days, they could draw out of that bank.
That
But
kind
we
of got,
don't have that anymore either.
Well, we get to cash ours out, but you don't get full pay for them. Like you get a set amount per day that you can cash out once you're over 180. And it's based on your job, really.
I think the
But
state
you don't
paid
just
out
lose them.
30.
I think ours is 30 for non-certs and, I don't know, 50 or something, 75 for teachers, I can't remember what it is.
I know when I left the state 8 years ago, I walked away, I had 2,000 hours of sick time. And I think I got paid for 30 days, which is fine, whatever, it is what it is. But we just don't have anything in place to take care of employees here. We don't have that many
Can we
employees.
just go back to sick, like sick and personal?
That's
Is it that,
certainly
is
the
it that
avenue I
easy?
wanna go.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I mean,
asking,
it's
because
gotta be-
I wasn't here when you did have it, and I don't know why you changed, so.
I'll leave that comment to myself.
that was, you
So-
can do it, you can go back to sick, personal, and vacation.
We, I think since we're gonna make some changes, we should probably meet again in a month.
I would agree.
Yeah,
And we
I'm
can
good with
each
that.
have.
Yeah.
Talking to you and figure out some kind of sick personal
I
vacation.
don't like that they can only keep 30 and then they don't get paid for them. I don't like that. Like, we can have before.
They would lose them.
Yes, but
use them
that's,
or-
I don't like that at all.
So we'll set another meeting date for next month before we leave. And we'll bring that plan to the table that evening, see if we have some kind of common denominator here for that. The other elephant in the room was, comp time versus overtime. This is my big one. Comp time existed here for years. A lot of you back there worked for this county for years when we had comp time. This is my personal opinion. I've only ever worked for government agencies, state or county, we have comp time, okay? All I hear in budget time is budget restraint, budget responsibility, fiscal response, blah, 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 blah. How much did we pay out last year, Gail?
$340,000.
$340,000 in overtime. Scott, what was our shortfall this year in budget? Ish. 400, is that what you told me? $400,000.
So if they would've had comp time, we'd almost been even.
There you go.
Close.
Okay, so in a time, in a government where you're always gonna have overtime, don't get me wrong. It's always gonna happen, and you always have to have a budget line for overtime, because you're gonna have to pay people out for certain things. It's inevitable. $340,000 in overtime, okay? You find me somebody that can budget that, then I'll walk out of here and quit tonight. It's not possible.
It's not
It's an
possible.
unfunded liability. I have some thoughts on that though, Ryan. I'm not opposed to comp time or for it, either one. We hate it at the school because it's a payroll nightmare.
It is.
But there's just a couple things. I don't know if you've read about the One Big Beautiful Act. Comp time plays into that big time. So Gail, they gotta be on top of it before reporting next year. And it has to be paid at a time and a half rate. And my one issue, like we've talked about this at the school, like let's say you earn comp time in December, but you wanna use it in January. Well, you just got a 60-cent raise in January. So you're using your comp time at your new rate, but you earned it at your old rate. Now, some people, it don't, so, oh well, it don't matter. But I'm just telling you, like, that's just some factors to think about. Like I said, it don't matter to me one way or the other.
Well, that happened.
But it's still an unfunded
We
liability
have to
because,
lock that in.
yes, because if somebody does leave, you still have to pay it out if they didn't use it.
Right, that's why
So-
we're always gonna have to
Well,
have.
Yeah.
It was only up to 80 hours that they got paid. That's what it was supposed to be.
So what do you do what if they had 90 hours of comp time?
They lost 10 hours.
You can't, you're violating federal wage and hour law. You have to pay them for
That
that.
was prior to me.
Yeah,
I'm just-
I know, I'm just telling you
Now,
that
they
you
got
have to pay
paid.
them
There
for that.
was a couple that did get paid. Some nice paychecks, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. I don't know, but that wasn't.
I like,
That goes back
comp
to
time's
the
fine,
manager
but I
that-
think you need to put like, you have a year to use it, whatever, you know what I mean, like a restraint. You can't keep it for 15 years and build up all this comp time and then retire and cost the county
Oh, no, I agree.
$80,000
Retire.
or
And
whatever.
that's where we got into the problem. This
Yeah.
is why they changed it, knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
My opinion, but I worked here when this happened. I was still a deputy here. There was a knee-jerk reaction. Instead of having a meeting, we're having now, with all elected officials, county managers, and say, hey, you're screwing up. That's the way it is. We're adults. You're screwing up because you're letting your people have 200 hours of comp time, whatever. I'm using a magic number. And that's on you as a boss. You screwed this county over by doing that. And grown-ups have been like, okay, I did.
Yeah.
Let's fix this problem. But we didn't do that.
Yeah.
We eliminated it
We just-
and we went to $340,000 in overtime. That is insanity. That's
Yes.
insanity. You can hold people accountable. I know I have limits to my comp time and I have to use it, and my boss is hellion on it. She will come through that office like a firestorm and tell everybody, you're off next week, you're off. That's the way it is until we get to a
And that would
number.
help with people who didn't have vacation time, if they, had to work a couple extra hours one week.
Right.
That would help that way.
And I know,
I
I
just-
can't speak for every single one of them, but Jenny will certainly correct me, but I'd say 90% of the county highway, which is our biggest department in the county, wants their comp time back versus their
They
overtime
all want
pay.
the comp
They
time.
want their time.
And,
They lost some, yeah, that's a problem.
yeah, we've lost people
You know.
because of the comp time issue, and there should be no problem with telling each department, if you're gonna have comp time, you need to show me you're managing it. Ask for a report every month at your commissioner meeting or your council
Right,
meeting.
yeah.
Make them show you what it is.
And we need to get our timekeeping system in place so that we have a perfect
Yes,
system for it.
because if it's messed up just a little and somebody reports it to the federal wage and hour people, it's gonna be a mess.
And they probably will. You
Yeah.
always get that one person that's gonna
Yeah.
do something like that. yeah. But again, maybe in a month, we'll have a plan, to figure out how to
Yeah.
put this together correctly. Because we can't keep paying out $340,000 in overtime.
No.
We just lost 1.3 million in casino money. We can't keep doing this. I had a meeting last night with Stevie, they're mad. I get it, they're mad because they lost money. Everybody's mad because they lost money. But we're paying $340,000 out in overtime.
And with the highway department, they can't predict what their overtime's gonna be a lot of times, especially when it's weather related and, we have storms or winter storms in the winter, we have flooding in the spring. I mean, those things happen, Mother Nature happens, and there's no way we can predict when it's gonna happen. Because when it starts flooding, then our roads start washing out, and then we have more, repairs that they have to make, so.
And we might go a whole year and not pay 50,000 in overtime. It may happen, but we can't budget. What was the budget last year for county highway? 25,000?
25,000, and we actually spent 60,
Yeah.
Spent how much?
65,000.
We can't, can't budget that. I think it's reckless for a county.
Yeah,
Is it mainly the county highway department that gets overtime, or does any other departments get overtime?
Yeah, no, there's highway, SCER, sheriff station.
Now, sheriff, I don't even take that into account because they pay theirs out of casino revenue.
Okay.
But it
And
still
if we
goes
take flat
into
out, we take the sheriff's overtime away, he pays it out of his portion.
Right.
The sheriff's department might as well close their doors.
But it comes into, I have to transfer it from the casino
Back to,
to the general, so his overtime is calculated in at 340,000.
so what would be,
And that goes-
what would be the number that,
The jail as well, dispatch, if they were shorthanded, something came up, they needed an extra hand.
so we'll,
they-
we'll get the closer number.
I understand
Yeah, I
like
would have
highway
to get-
department and sheriff's department, I just didn't know if it was like other departments, like maybe a schedule could be rearranged to avoid
SCER.
overtime, that's why I was asking.
Well, animal control,
Animal
they're
control.
getting paid and they're getting called out a lot.
Okay.
I mean, we're not talking tens of thousands, but we're
Okay.
thousands. So. Oh, yeah.
The clerk's office during election,
Yeah,
They
I
would
can
have-
understand that,
but like my office, they would never,
okay. So I was
well, I
just
guess I
wondering.
should never say that, but.
County highway is the big one.
Yeah.
That's the
Not
big
have.
expensive one. Like I said, you take sheriffs away, we're in bad shape. We're in bad shape.
But the casino revenue could be depleted too, and it could come back to us. sheriff, that is.
It could be, then we have to make those decisions, we have to. But right now, it'd be catastrophic, because they're already down people. They're already in the bottom 10 paid in the state of Indiana. It's, you're playing with dynamite. SER, the same way, we're gonna have to curb that. That's the other thing, we're gonna have to dig into this, they're getting triple time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, cause we've been doing a lot of webinars and stuff on that one big beautiful bill, because of all that stuff, just because in 2026, you have to report it, and you get fined for every, like, $250 per W-2 you report wrong, and all that stuff. So, like, you only report premium overtime, and as I was reading this handbook, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, like, let's say Christmas week, there's 2 holidays in there that they get called out for snow. They still get overtime, like, they don't have to physically work 40 hours to get overtime. They still get overtime even though there's a holiday in there. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, we don't do it like that, you have to physically perform the work for 40 hours to get overtime. But when you're reporting on that big beautiful bill, you can't report that as premium overtime. Because it can't be, that's not premium overtime according to Trump. So,
Well, I don't like triple dipping.
you know,
That's, and Ryan Everman doesn't either, he'll come
Yeah.
on record and say that, but he's gonna keep paying his people, and
That's
they're gonna
what
fix it.
And you know, I mean, he has his own handbook down payment, and
Yeah.
they may be different.
Maybe you can't afford to keep paying.
can you separate out departments like this? Like, not every department's the same, like, I was like, comp time restrictions, like, highway department, like you said, they have their own handbook, you know, like, your overtime
SER
stuff.
has their own judge, prosecutor,
By the way, I'll-
sheriff's office, they have their own. But the highway, they are under the same.
Okay, that's the courthouse.
Yeah. It's everybody else.
Okay. I was just thinking they might be a little bit different too.
The other thing that was thrown at me were courthouse hours. That's gonna get complicated because of hourly wages. So what that's gonna require is more than us. That's require more than what we can do. That would require county council to change the pay scales to represent the lower hours, not necessarily pay increases. It'd be great
They
if that
should be
happened,
making the same.
but they would have to adjust hourly wages at this point
If we-
to make
But
sure you
aren't they all
don't lose
hourly?
money.
This is
or-
where I get confused. Aren't they an hourly employee anyway? So they're not considered salary. So like the salary ordinance just had an hourly rate. It didn't have a salary.
That's hourly rate, but if we take it back down to 36 or 37.5 hours or whatever, they're losing money. So
But if that's what they want to do, then I mean, I don't know. Is that what they're wanting to do?
it's, I think, split. I think it's only split because people are gonna lose money. Certainly, correct me if I'm wrong.
People
No,
don't
you're
lose money.
correct, because I don't want to lose money.
Right.
But I also heard there was a 32 hour in there, and I can't take an $8,000 a year pay cut,
32 hours.
a 32-hour work week.
No.
And I'm like, no, I can't do that.
37 and a half, so anything that I've heard.
37 and a half, and because that's the pretty common county courthouse work schedule across the state.
And what is that, 8 to 4 with a half-hour lunch?
Yep,
Okay.
37.5 hour. Yep, that's state of Indiana government in most county courthouses. That's where that number came from. But at the current moment, that's where we're gonna have to bring a lot more county employees in here at another meeting, because at current rate today, you lose money for that.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose 2.5 hours a week, 5 hours a paycheck, 10 hours on a monthly wage, so. That's gonna be a further discussion another time, I would say. That's one that we're gonna have to put out, broadcast, and that will fall on some of you as well. People come in here and have a much bigger discussion.
I don't think so.
I think that was.
I hadn't thought about courthouse hours, so I'm trying to wrap my brain around it for a minute.
I looked at my 2 emails that I received or. Just to make sure we hit everything that people reached out to me about. So we talk about the 37.5, if we moved the courthouse hours down to 37.5.
That, yeah, that's what the discussion was, 8 to 4, half-hour lunch.
Would we stagger lunches so that this courthouse would still be open from 8 to 4?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you still have to stay open, because the county handbook would still represent a courthouse of 8 to 4.
we have to.
I mean, if the courthouse is open 8 to 4 and they got paid a half-hour lunch, nobody would lose anything. You wouldn't have that extra half an hour on. That would be really nice. I know mine too will be happy with that.
Well, honestly, a half an hour, you don't have a lot of time to go get your food and eat it somewhere. You might as well just come back to your desk after 15 minutes and.
And most of us eat at our desk.
Exactly, we all eat at our desk.
Because like an office with 2 people, if one's off, the other one has to. They don't have a choice.
Right, you just bring your lunch. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we did, because it's not worth leaving every day anyway.
No, it isn't. There's nothing to do.
No.
Some people aren't gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fabulous for the start.
Courthouse.
Well, I mean, it would be courthouse employees over, of course, it would work for the highway workers because they're already out, but.
I think most of them just eat on the go anyway,
Agreed.
as they're driving from wherever we need to go. I don't.
Yeah, I don't have anything else, they did discuss PTO time, so I think everything that you heard was pretty much what I heard, so.
Pretty unpopular.
Along with on the PTO time, I'm all for changing it, just, we have to spell it out in the handbook, like, you days and you have any money coming up from the last check, we can take it, just, we have that saved in ours and stuff like that.
Very detailed.
Yeah,
Yes.
ours is not 97 pages, ours is like 15.
My whole county handbook's 28 pages.
Yeah,
So,
when I printed this out, I'm like 97 pages.
I don't know how it did. I went to print it today and I looked, I said, no, I'll just carry my laptop.
I've got it printed here, and
96
it's,
pages.
Yeah.
and it's, even when you find what you're looking for, it's really, there's so much verbiage in here that you have to read through paragraphs
Yeah.
to see what you're actually looking for.
Well, a lot of that is HR stuff. That can be in a separate
Agreed.
packet.
Yes,
That's not your basic day-to-day county operation.
no,
And
no,
that's
it's
the way it
very,
needs to be
very,
broken down. It's too complex.
I agree. It needs to be a lot, way more concise so that it's understood better.
Anything from you all? Thoughts, suggestions? Good. So we need to set another for next month. Somewhere maybe in the 16th to 20th range.
You say,
We have a commissioners meeting,
17th, 16th is a holiday.
so we have one on the 17th.
I'm pretty open that week, to be honest with you, because it's just like trying to do basketball, so I don't really have anything. It's nice.
Want to do a Wednesday again?
Actually,
that's actually.
oh, no, yes, I can do that Wednesday. I have school, I have a school meeting, but they moved it to do that. I can do days.
18th again? 5 again? 18th? So our next meeting is going to be February 18th, Wednesday, the 18th of February, again at 5 PM, right here.
So if we do get any more thoughts, discussion that needs to be held, if you could communicate so that we can have a little bit more, instead of springing something on somebody,
Right.
if there's something new that comes up besides what's on here already.
Yeah.
Like comp time.
So the next meeting, the things that we talked about today need to be on an agenda so that,
Hours comp, time off. That's our,
Does somebody write this, or do like we just change it? Not we, but somebody like
We
in-house.
had Wagner and Children's who wrote this last one. But then our HR, anytime there was an update, he updated it.
Okay, so that would really be,
There
like
should-
you would change the language.
Or we maybe could give it to the, yeah, I was gonna say.
So that's why I didn't know if an attorney needed to look at it, or if like one of you needed to
he
write
told
up,
me he would.
write
whenever
up
we
some
decide.
language and let him review it,
Yes,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And basically,
Yeah.
we just pay him to fix it all. That's what.
You know,
Right,
that was my thought.
I do have something that I did remember. Do you guys have any thoughts about adding just an employee, just not an elected official, not just another employee, just to get their thoughts up here, and they might bring more to the table instead of,
Also the committee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to amend the handbook to do that.
yes, well, and I think that you guys can do that annually, is my understanding. I think it says something in here, in this 92 pages, that they can.
How do we pick such? I'm all for it, but how do we do
Well,
this
you
the right way?
probably maybe get some volunteers first, then, because somebody you pick may not want to be.
Well,
I mean,
I
if
don't
you
wanna
guys have
handpick,
any,
because that's how that, I get people that are willing and wanting.
right,
So I guess we can
I just
make that
think there
vote tonight, because we're starting off the year, as the first meeting.
needs to have that other voice in there.
I agree.
I'll make a motion to add a county employee to the county handbook committee. All in favor? So,
No volunteers?
Huh?
Do you want volunteers?
Put Jenny's name down.
Yeah, I would volunteer.
there we go.
And if you ever need a backup, I will do it.
So there's our backup. Well, I guess we should vote on that too. I'll make a motion to add Jenny to the county handbook committee, Switzerland County Handbook Committee. Tongue twister.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
So does the 18th work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Anything else? Anybody? So, all right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Thank you all.
I know, right?
We're gonna make you figure out how much this sheet's got.
Joanna.
Oh, it's Joanna Michelle. Oh, then it should be okay.
Yeah.
I'm before you might make more.
Why did I-